I, a 28-year-old male, want out, but I can't find a good time to tell her, my 45-year-old girlfriend. I've been dating a woman for about 3 years now. It started off great, but over time there's been a lot of changes that I have issues with. Politically she's become very far right compared to when we first met, anti-vax, freedom trucker, Canada is becoming communist China, that sort of thing. Because she refuses to get vaccinated, she's stopped receiving secondary education and is working a minimum wage job, living paycheck to paycheck. She keeps adopting pets despite not being able to afford them. She has also taken to questioning me with horoscope videos that she watches on YouTube, asking if I'm cheating on her and want to break up because of our age difference based on what they've said about my sign that day. Well, OP, she isn't wrong, is she? Wow, maybe horoscopes are real. I can already see it now. When you break up with her, it will reinforce her ideology that Jupiter's gases are aligned with her chakras and now she needs to yodel next to the neighbor's house at 3 a.m. I've watched her go from being a wonderful woman who loves animals and her family to whatever this is. We don't share the same values. I'm not seeing any desire from her to improve her situation, and frankly most days it feels like I'm dating a conspiracy theorist. Problem is, I can't seem to find a good moment to sit down and break up with her. Anytime I think there's a moment of calm, something happens. Her pets die, there's a cancer scare, someone in the family passes away. Most recently she's been finalizing a years-long divorce with her ex-husband who she's been living with and now needs to find a place to live in a city where she'll have to downsize a lot in order to afford. I don't want to break up with her while she's in a bad spot, but I'm having a real heck of a time finding a time where she isn't in a bad spot in some shape or form. How do I go about splitting up, and when would be the right time to do it? OP, just do it. There will never be an ideal time to break up with her. If you are really worried you'll hurt her feelings, then tell her how you've gotten into reading horoscopes as well. Then weirdly one day your horoscope reads if you have a 45-year-old girlfriend who is anti-vax and loves collecting pets, then you need to break up with her. She is destined to be with a much better man. I guarantee she will take it a lot better if you do it that way. Joking aside, just do it, OP. You are clearly unhappy. I know I would be unhappy too if my 45-year-old anti-vax girlfriend kept picking fights with me because her horoscope told her to be a raging bee that day. I am a 29-year-old female and I caught my husband, a 33-year-old male, texting his coworker and hiding it. So I need everyone's thoughts. I have been married to my significant other for 4 years but have been together for 9. We have 4 kids together, own our own home in the country and I thought, lived a pretty decent life. We fight more than the regular couple, but we are aware of it and have been working hard to improve our relationship. He works FIFO, meaning he flies to work and is there 2 weeks and then flies home for 1 week. It's been tough, but we have made his new job work for us. We have been really struggling lately, but he surprised me Valentine's Day by flying home and showing up with flowers. It was beautiful and I thought everything was great. He got a text last night. I didn't see his phone go off, but I went into his messages to see if he had sent his brother something and saw that he had a message sitting there from the new girl at his work. Her messages had notifications turned off, hence why I hadn't seen it. The text said, "Who will I drink with tonight?" Frowny face. But there were no texts before that, so I checked for deleted texts and there they were. She had only got his number 4 days ago, but since then it was constant texting. During this time he had been pretty radio silent towards me too. I read the texts and they were so flirty it was disgusting. She was talking about how when she drinks she gets touchy-feely etc. and saying that she hopes they're in the work truck together all day again. And he reciprocated those desires. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I woke him up and confronted him and he said that he deleted them because he knew I would overreact and he silenced her texts because he didn't want to talk to her while he was at home. But I haven't slept. I just keep thinking what would have happened if I hadn't found out. I think this is cheating, but I'm not sure if I'm just emotionally overreacting. OP, you are not overreacting. You are legit just reacting to the fact that your husband is a bee. He obviously knows what he is doing is wrong, which is why he is silencing notifications and deleting flirty texts between the two of them. Now he is trying to gaslight you into thinking you are crazy for being upset at the fact that your husband is flirting with his coworker. I can't say for sure if anything physical is happening, but this really does seem like emotional cheating. You should talk to your husband and tell him you won't stand for this. He is disrespecting you and you have to voice your concerns. I wish you all the best, OP. I am a 22-year-old female. My boyfriend, a 28-year-old male, said he had the time of his life hanging out with another girl. My boyfriend and I went out clubbing last weekend with some of our friends. In the smokers area, there was this one girl sitting at a table, so we asked if we could sit with her and she said yes and we started talking to her. I had a friend come later, so I went and met up with her, in the same club, and we hung out inside for a bit before we went up to the smokers. I don't remember what I said or how this happened, but my boyfriend said that he had the time of his life hanging out with this girl that he had only just met. I guess that made me feel a bit weird. She was pretty cool, but I guess it just feels weird that my boyfriend said that about another girl when he's not said that about hanging out with me. TLDR, boyfriend said he had the time of his life hanging out with another girl. Bro, my biggest issue with this post is the fact that there is a TLDR when the post is 2 seconds long. How short are your attention spans? Anyway, OP, it doesn't seem like your boyfriend is trying to be mean or thinking about this girl in a romantic way. She was probably just cool to hang out with and he told you about it. Otherwise, your boyfriend is the dumbest fuck in the world if he is announcing girls he wants to be with instead of you to you. I wouldn't worry about it too much, OP. If you are feeling insecure and neglected, you should talk to your boyfriend about it. I am an 18-year-old female and my boyfriend, 19-year-old male, doesn't want to treat his yeast infection. Bro, the title already tells me your boyfriend is cooked. We started having special cuddles without a condom for 3 months now. At first it was fine, but the lube we used caused yeast infection for me. I didn't have any symptoms at first, so we still had special cuddles without a barrier till I noticed itching and unusual discharge. I treated it, but it still continued coming back. I thought it was something to do with him finishing inside me, so we stopped that too, but the yeast infection came back again. Today I came to conclusion that I transmitted it to him, and most yeast infections for men don't have symptoms. I told him that he also needs to get it treated, and he straight up told me no. Yeah, OP, that is definitely not a red flag right there. I imagine him having a previous girlfriend and told her he won't be treating his HIV either. It will go away on its own. Gotta catch them all, I guess. I told him we're not going to have special cuddles then, or you will have to use condoms. His response was he doesn't care, we don't need to have special cuddles and he won't be treating it. I even sent him the risks of not treating men's yeast infection. The answer is no. It will go away on its own, everything will be fine later. He even said he doesn't have yeast infection, so he won't go to the doctor. I don't understand, I just stop having special cuddles with him because I'm tired of repeatedly treating it, and I don't want to have special cuddles with a person that has an infection or somehow convince him to treat it. TLDR. Boyfriend won't treat his yeast infection because A. He doesn't have it, even though after each special cuddle I get yeast infection transmitted again. B. It will go away on its own. Bro, at this point I wouldn't just be worried about yeast infections. You have to ask yourself why your boyfriend refuses to go to the doctor. It honestly seems like he is hiding something from you, perhaps even more STIs or STDs. If I were you, OP, I would get a full checkup and definitely stop having special cuddles with your boyfriend for now. Thanks for watching. I recently moved out, which is why I am now using this voice thingy to make videos instead. Honestly, I like it more than my cringe voice. But if I move out again and have my own space, I will go back to using my own voice. In the meantime, press like if you liked the video. Or don't, you frickin' tease.